Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And I'm coming in live real quick just to ask this one question. And it's been weighing very heavily on my spirit over the past 2 days because I've been recently coming into different epiphanies about the issues that exist here in America between men and women of the the negroidal sphere. I don't know how else to put it. So my question is, what are Black men accountable for? Hello, welcome in everyone. Welcome. We are live at the moment. And I'm going to look at the comments. I really want to hear your answers. I really need to know because I've been sitting here thinking about it because the other day we were on a broadcast where there was a guy who was like, "Oh, if a man leaves his children, it's the woman's fault. If a man is abusive, it's the woman's fault. If this, that," and it just seems like there are all of these different reasons for why it's the woman's fault or the man's fault. So if he's not getting educated, it's the white man's fault. If he is shooting people in the ghetto, it is the white man's fault because they dropped off guns in the ghetto. And it's like, I understand that there's so many issues that exist in the community, but I want to hear from you all. Is there anything that you've heard as a collective that they've said, yeah, you know what, we got to take responsibility for this? Yeah, we've got to do better. Just name something, please. I want to know. So, oh. So look at this. So somebody said they peeked in. Tasha W says, I just peeked in to say nothing. They're accountable for nothing. I just want to know what you've heard, because if you have intercourse too soon, it's the woman's fault. It's not, he has no culpability for pressing and pushing and making all of these promises. One thing that dawned on me today, right? And I'm going to name down some of the different things, but this is just kind of like a preliminary video because I'm thinking about doing a call-in show about this, but not tonight because I'm not in a call-in show kind of mood right now. But I wanted to get a sense for whether or not you all have heard something different, right? Because in something, so I was going to say this dawned on me today, right? It dawned on me today. The average African American woman does not have a psych degree. She's not able to really diagnose whether or not a man has some underlying mental health issues that are hidden and untreated, or treated with medication. Once he's not on the medication, that he turns into a different person. She's not a drug crisis counselor to know whether or not a person has some hidden addictions. She's not trained to be able to detect a narcissist, because when it comes to narcissism, there are a narcissist. If you look at the DSM, I believe we're up to the DSM-5 now. Most narcissists are male. So there's this pervasive issue that's going on where people are hiding who it is that they are. And a Black woman is supposed to be an untrained psychological professional to be able to assess whether or not a person has some underlying issues which are unaddressed. She's supposed to be an unpaid, untrained life coach to be able to motivate him to get where it is that he wants to be in his life. She's supposed to be a relationship expert. She's supposed to be a trauma healer. She's supposed to be a psychic, all-knowing guru. She's supposed to be so many different things, and I'm confused as to where the culpability is, because according to what it is that I believe, the only person responsible for leaving their child is the person who left. And this goes for male or female, right? But it's like, I see so many Black men online they blame the mother if she leaves. They blame the mother if the father leaves. So it's like there's nothing that seems to be his fault, nothing that he is accountable for, nothing that is his responsibility, right? So it's like they've absolved themselves. And I'm just curious as to whether or not any of you out there have heard anything that they've said that they're accountable for, like, you know what, we need to do better in this realm. Anybody? Anyone? And Women Level Up, after hitting the wall, says most women leave, statistically speaking. There, most women initiate divorce. However, is she initiating divorce with a man who is fully engaged and showing up and participating in the relationship to an equal level? Are they leaving good men? You know, women are so relationship oriented. So you see what I mean? It's like a man doesn't do what it is that he needs to do in a relationship. He doesn't listen to her. He doesn't honor her. He's not faithful to her. He's emotionally abusive at times. He hasn't healed his trauma. He's not participating in an equal level in the housework or the child rearing. And then he has the nerve to be out there on the prowl, not honoring her, disrespecting his family and himself, being community peen. I was going to say a loose whore, but you know what? I'll keep that to myself, right? But I'm just, so it's like, let me ask you all out there to just self-assess, right? Ladies, have you ever left a man who was listening? Put up a number one if you've left a man who was showing up, who was investing in a relationship, investing in you, listening to you, um, putting your relationship first, honoring you, being faithful to you, handling his business financially, being sexually faithful, being committed to the relationship. Put up the number one if you've left a man like that. Put up a number two if there were severe issues that were lacking. It's like, you know, it's like there's so many excuses that that a male person puts out there for why he can't see his kids. But ladies, let me ask you, what is it that would need to take place on God's green earth that could keep you from your child, that would make you not be there to wonder whether or not your child is fed, whether or not your child is being abused, whether or not a new partner is coming in and pummeling your child, whether or not your child is warm at night, whether or not your child is eating good food, whether or not your child is being taught? What could make you leave your child? You know, it's like, I don't understand how people just throw their hands up. I had a friend who had a child with this woman, and she truly, according to him, flipped the script after the child was born, because then she was like, oh, I got you now, nigga, right? And she tried to move to New Jersey. And this was his first child. This was his first child. And he didn't trust that this woman would do what it is that she needed to do for the child. And they were in New York, and she wanted to take the child and move to New Jersey. Let me tell you how this man went to the courts and filed an injunction and a stay so that she was not able to take his child out of state. So when I saw that, I was like, so what's going on with all of these men who are like, oh, she's stopping me from seeing my child? It's like sometimes I think people don't really consider, look, there may be a reason why she's attempting to put limitations on how much contact you have with the child. Are there women out there who are spiteful and this and that? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. However, if it is a woman's responsibility for choosing well, then a man who chooses a woman who is so spiteful that she would harm her own offspring so that you don't have contact with them, who is it that you chose to implant your seed into? So it's like once somebody commented on my video the other day, and they were like, so many Black men attribute their character, the things that are going good, the things that are going bad in their life, the things that are going good in their life to Black women, so that if he starts making more money and all this other stuff, then he attributes it to the Black woman who was there to do all of this stuff for him. If things start going bad in his life, he attributes it to Black women. And it made me think about how in many religious sectors, we give that type of deference to God. And it's like, and it's not even healthy when we give that deference to God. There are a lot of people who are like, oh, all God is that he praises all to God. All of this is, regardless of how it is that you showed up. Listen, we live in a physical world. We live in a world where you have to take physical action in order to be, because you can't just sit there. You have to do the work. You have to do the steps. You have to work the steps. You have to participate. You have to show up for yourself. And it's like we have so many men out here who are not willing to show up for themselves unless a person with a vagina and two breasts are there to push them up against his back and propel him forward. And so if he doesn't get educated, oh, it's his mother's fault. If he's standing out on the stoop selling crack cocaine, it's his mother's fault. If he turns into a drug addict, it's his mother's fault. If he can't see his kids, it's the woman's fault. If he doesn't go to college, it's the fault of the woman who had his baby. Forget the fact that he stuck his penis and implanted his seed somewhere. If he doesn't finish school, oh, it's somebody else's fault. It's this, it's that, it's the white man's fault, it's the Black woman's fault. But I want to know collectively, who have we heard in mass saying, you know what, yeah, we can do better? It's like if the police tells him don't move and he's still running up on a person and he gets shot down, right? Listen, we've heard the stories and we've seen the videos and we still rally. But some of the things that I see, I'd be like, look, stop moving. Keep still, chill. You don't need to do all of that. It's like some things just aren't worth it. Like when I saw the Sandra Bland video, there are certain people who get certain leeway with police officers, right? And there's some people who don't. And we know the people who don't. It's like there are far too many of us Black people who have to be straight and narrow and do all of this stuff. So it's like, why don't give these people a damn reason? You know what I mean? And it's like, regardless of all of that, we're still expected to get up in March. We're still expected to go out there and put ourselves on the line. According to what people are saying, the Mike Brown, the one who set everything off down there in St. Louis, or, oh gosh, tell me the state where Mike Brown was in. Was it St. Louis? Was it Missouri? I'm not sure. No, Ferguson. It was Ferguson, wasn't it? That he bum rushed the police, that he reached for the police gun and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, come on. Because they said, listen, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because the trajectory of where the bullets were inside of his body went in through an angle that aligned with the stories that the police officer said that he was bum rushing him and going for the officer's gun. And it's like, even when it's sketchy, even when it's a little unknown, we're still like, oh, let's go out there and march, right? But then when it's a Black woman with her head on the chopping block, right? She had to have been the perfect example of the Virgin Mary, and all things pure and holy, with nothing in her past, because it's going to be scrutinized. And then, even then, it's like, and then they're like, oh, well, I need to have 1 million subscribers in order to confront a person. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm just curious. I want to hear from you all. Has anybody out there heard anybody say, because look, if they dropped off a crate of guns in the ghetto and I saw a crate of guns, am I going to pick up that gun and start shooting other people in my neighborhood with it? Am I even going to pick up one of those guns? It's like, what serial number does it have on it? Who does this belong to? What bodies are associated with a gun? Am I going to pick it up and just be out there acting a fool? It's like, so at what point do we say, you know what, you've got to take responsibility? And the worst part about this is that these are the people who are like, oh, I'm the leaders, you submit, and all this other stuff. But it's like, how does a person submit to a person who won't take responsibility for the things that he participated in? And we did that show the other night. And you know what? That show was a learning experience for me, because I realized in doing that show, because there were people who were asking me, who is this guy that's on here? And for the first time, it dawned on me, yeah, who is this person? What is it that gives this person qualifications to speak up? You know, I started saying my intro lately, saying I've been dubbed by Fox and NBC as a relationship expert, but that's not really true. It's true, but I became a trained life coach with an emphasis, with special training in relationship coaching. That's what I did. I went out, I became a life coach. I'm applying to grad school now to get my master's in psychology, and I'm on the PhD track. So it's like, there are things that I have done. I read a lot. I read studies and journals, and I read the census and stats, and I read books on evolutionary psychology. I study, I watch documentaries, I interview people. But a lot of these male relationship gurus, in all of their egoic in all of their ego, they don't feel that there's anything that they need to do besides cup up their balls, turn on a camera, and start telling women what it is that they need to do. I was on that broadcast and I quoted census stats for him. I said there are 2 million more Black women in this country than Black men. And he kept saying, all you need is one. And I didn't understand that math, because the math says one thing. And it's like, has he ever looked at the Census Bureau? I was telling him that Black women invest in themselves. And he was like, I don't think they do. And I'm like, what do your thoughts got to do with anything? Feelings are not facts. So it's like, you don't take the time to learn, to read, to educate yourself, to make it. So it's like, why should anybody listen to you? But yet here we go, Black women, time and time and time again, continuing to give these men patronage and running to them, hoping that we can get some sort of little pat on the back or kudos from them. We have so many Black women who are parroting the toxic talking points of ignorant men with no foundation of knowledge. And these pick-me's are out there hoping to get accolades from them for what? And it's like, there's so many people who are like, oh, you know, oh, is you married, right? But it's like a marriage doesn't solve all issues. Just signing a piece of paper doesn't negate the humans that are in that relationship, and it doesn't denote that that's a healthy relationship. But it's like we pit men against women where we're like, oh, men, just go out there and get as much booty as you can. Women, make sure that you try to get relationships and don't give up any booty under any circumstances, right? And then when there's a disparity, we blame women. We're like, oh, why can't you get a man? We don't train men on, where's the husband schools? We don't train men on how to be good husbands. Like there was somebody who spoke earlier about how most divorces are initiated by women. But it's like, okay, there's a reason why. And there's a reason why men are not, where they don't have the emotional intelligence, the psychological maturity to realize when something's not working, to understand that you've got to listen to your partner, you've got to participate, you've got to show up. You've got to, it's like we talk about this relationship being one man and one woman, but these men, they have all of these other people in their relationship with them. They got the red pill people telling them this, the alpha strategy people telling them that, the high value man people telling them that. And meanwhile, in that relationship, they're ostracizing the woman, alienating her, not giving her what she needs, and not listening to her, not showing up, not participating, using her body as a receptacle for his sperm and penis, and then wondering why she's leaving. 70% of women have never had an orgasm. And it's like all of this, and then you wonder why she's hitting the road. Please. Oh, gosh. How funny. Well, right. So I see 123 Creations made it in today, but she didn't make it in for the call-in show. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I'm gonna read a few of the comments and then we're gonna jump out of here. I really didn't have much to say. I just really wanted to ask that question. And something strange has been happening to me lately, right? I've just been getting really turned off. Like I see the comments from, Black male commenters, and I don't even feel like, I just be like, conquered male, poor thing. It's like he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. Like that broadcast I was on the other day, that guy, he really thinks that he's doing a service to women. He doesn't even know. In his arrogance and his ego and his ignorance, he doesn't even know. And it's like, you try to have a conversation with these people, they don't listen. Listen, don't call people names. Look, I'm looking at my comments right now. Don't call people names in my comments. My average viewer is 30 years old. So if you need to resort to calling people names and all of that, you don't need to be here. So Matt D is saying, if you don't value the Black man's voice, then why ask women, because they can't fix it? Listen, it is not up to a man to wait on my approval to fix something. I'm turned off. And I didn't always feel this way. But it's like, if you dig from a pot, it's not bottomless. you hit bottom if you don't put back into the pot, right? You hit bottom. And when I say divest, listen, I've never been one to preach divesting, but in the middle of that broadcast with that man who just wasn't getting it and who was calling Black women masculine, and without taking accountability for the fact that Black women throughout history have never been able to rest in our feminine. And yeah, listen, you could feel however it is that you want to feel. Like, you see, like, I'm not even mad at you, young man. I pity you. I pity you that you would think it's appropriate to write a comment talking about if I don't value men's opinion. Why are you looking to me for, this is what I'm saying, they're waiting for somebody with a vagina and breasts to put them on their back and push them forward. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I don't even, like, I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not mad at you. Whatever, son, whatever. So what we're going to do is tomorrow, so there's a lot of people who are sending me clips. So tomorrow I'm going to work on, as you see, my energy is very placid right now. I'm not really in the mood to make a reaction or a highly analytical video, but we need to talk about the seven-figure man who came forward. We need to talk about the seven-figure man who came forward to speak on the KS situation. We also need to talk about the video that came out with the white girl who was saying that getting Black male attention is not any type of accolade. Tommy Cat is saying, I'm happy with my cats and no BM in my life. You know, don't let your eggs die inside of you. Just go where you're celebrated. It's as simple as that. Go where you're celebrated. Team Frank is saying, we are not obligated to value useless, uninformed opinions. We're not. Piece of Candy is saying, I've always dated Black Caribbean men who love women. Yeah. Asata is saying, my own brother assaulted me so bad he fractured the left side of my face after letting him live with me and supporting him. My mom and father still support him. No protection for Black women. Was he arrested? This troubles me deeply. That statement right there is very bothersome. And ladies, listen. You know, before a person, listen, I don't know if your brother has mental health issues, right? I don't know if your brother is had some sort of crisis, right? So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the backstory is behind that. I don't know if he was arrested or if, listen, sometimes you got to let people know. Oh, gosh. Before something escalates into physical violence, for the most part, it starts out with verbal violence. It starts out with verbal abuse. Nip that in the bud. Don't take none of these things for joke. Don't take it for joke. Don't make it, don't people like, ha, 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 you this, oh, you ugly. No. Don't take none of them for joke. Right? And so Lawanda is saying, I'm going to sit back and be quiet because I'm married to a beautiful Black man. And it's, I'm happy that you're married to a beautiful Black man. One of the things that we have got to remember is that anecdotal evidence is not evidence. there are far too many relationships which are evidenced. So is it enough to be like, well, I got mine, bitch, go get yours. Or I got mine, let me shut up, bitch, whatever you going through. Is that enough? Is it enough to just be like, I got mine, so whatever, I'm gonna be quiet? No, it's like, look, I don't have those particular types of issues, but I can still have empathy for those who do. I can still recognize that there are situations that are endemic into the Black community. So yeah, so I can still have empathy, and we can still be able to recognize, yes, I was able to pull this forward. However, there's so many of my sisters out there in the trenches. What do we do? So Bree is saying she just wanted to say something. Calling a man beautiful is so strange to me. What about handsome? I mean, there's some beautiful people out there. Energy can be beautiful. And plenty of BW think like that just because they found a unicorn. Matt is saying, I'm certain there's an outside hidden hand because this is very unusual. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Slight tendency is saying, I don't have that issue, but I'm not going to be blind to that I see going on in the community. That's just not being real. Yeah, exactly. And all something is saying, should BM applaud Lil Wayne going to prison? I don't know. Listen, I don't know what he's been arrested for, if he's been arrested. And Farita's saying, please be careful. People who speak the truth get doxxed and other weird things happen with their family. Crystalline is saying, a bucket of water doesn't represent the entire ocean. Right. And what we can do is look at the average. So what we can do is see that there are really huge problems in the Black community, like 70% out of wedlock birth, and the low family wealth, and lack of home ownership, and a Black woman being killed every 19 hours by a man that she was either romantically involved with or knew intimately. We can look at how 40% of girls coming out of African American households, approximately 40%, would have been assaulted intimately before they were even 18 years old. And so we look at all of these things, and we've got to start realizing that the bucket is the minority, that the average is the ocean. And that when we talk about these things, we talk about something that is highly problematic that's going on. And let's see. King Trell coming in from, and look, this is a person with no shirt on, taking selfies in the mirror. This is their screenshot, their profile picture rather. And he is saying, why is it just BM though? Why does it have to be about one race, period? Maybe if you put a shirt on, put down your selfie camera, and use that energy to fix yourself up so that you could mentor the youth, then we could start addressing why there's so many issues in the Black community. Rather than you telling women to shut the F up about it, why don't you get the F up and be about it and do something? Do something. Don't just sit there and just want women to be quiet. Why not you open your mouth and start speaking the truth about the things that are going on? There's no other community that has as low a marriage rate as ours. According to the census from 2012, Only 21% of Black men got married in this country. Even Black women got married at a higher rate than that. So it's like Black men just really aren't getting married, you know? And so Black women sister is saying, how do you super chat such slash send money? You can do that through Cash App. I'll see if I can put the banner up. I know that there are people who want to give, and giving, you know, is something that benefits the energy that they feel and the benefit that they feel that they receive from the videos. So I definitely allow people to Cash App me, and you can send a message through the Cash App and I read those out loud. So the Cash App is $ Tanya TKO. And so you can do that. Um and so let's see. There's Bree who is saying, Black men have been dragging Black women for years online and abusing Black women in real life for centuries. What is this dude talking about? The magnifying glass needs to be on you. Yeah, it's like it's unfortunate because it's like, and this is what I'm talking about. What will they take accountability for? What will they say? You know what? We need to do better. Most Black men are killed by other Black men. When are Black men going to say, you know what, we need to do something about this in our neighborhoods? When are they going to speak up and say, you know what, no more? We need to do something. I just, oh. And Big Watts is saying, why BW don't take accountability for their attitude, question mark, question mark. And so this person, I mean, these are the leaders. These are the leaders spelling there, just not even doing what it is that he needs to do the bare minimum of knowing how to spell the simple words that he's putting out there. You're talking about somebody being accountable for their attitude, but what are you doing to make sure that you are the best that you can be, so that you don't have to be there attempting to diagnose Black women? Listen, I say this: if Black women don't have the energy or don't have the vibration for which you want to interact with, go where you feel comfortable. It's like, if you're not happy, then go someplace else. Like I said, divest, Black women, divest. And so we have Lawanda saying, right, stop settling for being a baby mama. Like, no. Oh. And the Brats is saying, they use all the same lame talking points all the time. It's so exhausting. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, really. I am. Just don't really, I've lost a tremendous amount of respect. And once that respect is gone, it's very difficult. Phoebe says, it's exhausting speaking to BM. When it comes to real conversations, they practice a comprehension level of children. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Awaken is saying, this is what some BWC content creators and platforms sounded the alarm years ago. Many Black women attacked, doxed, and abused them, defending nakers. Yeah. Listen, I feel you. I feel you. I'm going to go do the Cash App check right now. Let me clear out these things. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, so we have $10 coming in from Plenser, who says, "Thanks for what you do." I'm gonna send you your heart now. Thank you. And then we have PM, who sent 1111 and said, "For Black Women's Standard, be blessed, happy holidays, beautiful." Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And let me send you your heart. Thank you. And we have Farida, who sends $10 and says, "I enjoy your commentary." Oh, stopping me from opening it. Okay, "I enjoy your commentary based on data and stats." Thank you, sweetie pie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Habibti. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Omega is saying, "I literally just left the live. This dude just was on his channel ranting about Black men getting disrespected. I kindly announce my departure. You will not waste my time with this B&M session." I feel you. I hear you. And Black Women is saying, "I think I'm kind of getting to the point of being serious about divesting. So I'm almost to the point of not watching BM videos anymore." I meant to say from Black Women's Sisterhood on Cash App. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Roger is saying, "If Black women trips and falls in the forest and nobody is around to hear it, does she make a sound?" So I'm not sure if you would like to be blocked, but I mean, you could try to troll, but you only end up not being able to communicate for infinity. You'll never be able to get unblocked again. All right. Delilah is saying, "I'm just here to support Tanya through this difficult time." Thank you. Thank you. B is saying, "Let's be real here. Do they even have the ability to understand? I think 90% of them may be on the spectrum or have mental retardation." I don't believe that. And I think that when we start acting like that, I don't know. It's just the energy of that just, I don't know. And so Omi is saying, "Can you give your opinion on the KS thing? I didn't see the video yet. Feels like we've been taking a lot as a community." I've made several videos, Omi. I can tell you're not on my channel because I've made several videos which have gotten me to this point. So you're going to have to do your part and just scroll back. Like before you type that, did you even look at the video list? Did you? Because I've made several videos. So, all right. So nonetheless, so we've been on a lot longer. The time just goes so quickly. It's been 43 minutes. And so Brown Becky is saying, "I heard someone said they found the young lady FB and messaged her. I'm looking for her so the ladies can reach out to her in email." Yeah, I heard a content creator was going to have her on. They found her, and a content creator is going to have her on. So I'm happy that I hope she gets the help that she needs. Janelle is saying they're increasing child support in Arkansas, so BM are really going to be mad. Yeah, angry about taking care of your children is something that's strange to me. All right. Crystal is saying there seems to be a lot of cognitive dissonance going on. O'Shea says, "You whack." O'Shea, first of all, you start a sentence with a capital Y, and the statement should be, "You are whack." So if you're going to be spelling it out, you can have the, what is it called, the contraction on the "you are," and just put the apostrophe and say "you're whack." So maybe a little bit more time, diving back into the old school books. Not really sure how far you went in school, so maybe you can do something like that, because not being able to spell, not having poor grammar is whack. That's very whack. And Delilah saying, stop having babies with them if child support is your only best resource. Pregnant Black women are killed a lot. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. All right. I'm going to check the Cash App again and see what we have. So we have Chauncey coming in with $5 saying, oops, sorry, I gave you government by mistake. Sorry. But she says, thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me send you your heart. I appreciate that. All right. Vegan lady is saying, I don't understand the entitlement. When you go to work, you work for a paycheck, you put in the time, but women, you just want to use up. I'm not understanding that. Yeah. Lawanda saying, did you hear about the woman that was killed in New Jersey? I did not hear about her. All right. Lioness says, I think that divesting is a relief because it feels like a weight is lifted off of your shoulders. You can just take off the cape and feel carefree. Yeah, I feel you on that. Crystal says a BW is 7 times more likely to be murdered by her boyfriend or husband when she is pregnant by him. Gosh. Can you send me a message where the stats for where you've seen that? Because that sounds awful. All right, everybody. I didn't want to stay on for long. I just wanted to come out and just ask the question, but I guess there's no real answer for it just yet. All right, so listen, let me get out of here. Go ahead and put up your final comments and then we'll take a leave. It says here, a strange Black man grabbed her by her buttocks, and when she turned around and confronted him, he shot her dead. Such toxicity out there, but we don't have men checking other men. Like, they really need to check one another. McKenzie is saying, or Miss Keys is saying, men have it so easy to simply walk away, shaking my head. There's never a narrative to make the BM acceptable for his actions, it seems. I think she means accountable. And Miss Keys is saying we can't even defend ourselves. Delilah is saying, according to comments right now, it must be because she was lazy and complained too much. Yeah. I have to look at the statistics on Black men and their reading level, says Aubrey. I feel you. All right. Listen, after we get off, you can leave your comments in the comments section. I'm going to jump off and just chill out for the rest of the night. I'm going to just relax. It's Friday night. And I need to unwind. I have so much on my mind. Tomorrow, we're going to get a good night's sleep. We're going to come out swinging tomorrow with a few different videos. I want to watch some TV with you all as well. So I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, go get some good night rest tonight. Eat good food, drink clean water, exercise. Make sure that you're exercising during the pandemic. I've started lifting weights, and as you can see, it's coming out you can see it. So I appreciate that. I'm going to be on KTLA. I'm going to be on KTLA on Monday. Let me check and see the time that I'm going to be on. So for those of you in Los Angeles, make sure you check me on KTLA. Oh, we got Jacqueline coming in with $20. She didn't leave a message. I'm going to send you a heart. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The Cash Apps, I use those on groceries. So I buy myself groceries with the Cash Apps. And this week I actually was able to buy some mangoes, some pomegranate, which I believe are in season right now, some corn on the cob, and I got some special type of kale. I forget the name of the kale, but it doesn't look like regular curly kale. It looked more like Swiss chard. And so I was able to eat really well this week. So I appreciate all of you sending the cash apps through. They do come in handy because the monies that I get from whatchamacallit are taxable, etc. So those go into a different account. But the cash apps is all mine. I take it to the grocery store and buy my foods with them. So thank you. I appreciate that. I was going to look at something on the phone, but I clean forgot. What was I going to look at? I picked up the phone to look at something. Oh, the time for the KTLA interview. The KTLA interview time. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my calendar. All right. So that's Monday the 14th. And it's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be 12, 1, 2. So it's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific time. So catch me on KTLA. We're going to be talking about online dating and stuff like that. All right. So I appreciate all of you for coming out. I appreciate all of the love and the support. I know that there's a very dense energy. I know there's a very dense energy in the air, and I want to find a solution to what it is that we're experiencing right now. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my matchmaking service, and I think that there's a toxicity that exists here in America that a lot of people born under this toxicity come up with thinking that toxicity is normal, even expected. And so I think that it's important to be able to get into intercultural relationships, people from different cultures. So that's what my matchmaking service focuses on, matching people from different cultures to be able to help people see and grow and strengthen each other. And yeah, so Black people in the diaspora connecting us all, and with people who were born or who have African parents or Caribbean parents, or who were born in the Caribbean or born in Africa, but all are in the United States. So that's what my matchmaking service is going to focus on. So I see Tanya left Twitter and came over to YouTube, huh? So Lioness Ma is saying it's global, but it does seem to be magnified in the US. Yeah, I listen. And this is why I think we need intercultural relationships, right? I think so the Black male is a conquered male all across the world. We are at the lowest rung on the totem pole. However, there's a toxicity that exists in this country where there are Black men who are running behind, wanting to suck off of that which comes out of the white man's penis, right? And so there's this lack of family orientedness or orientation. There's a lack of wanting to settle down, wanting to be upward mobile. And I think that, and so in many, listen, in the Caribbean, people get married, they love the look of Black women. However, I think that there needs to be a balancing out. Because we are privileged here in this country. There's a toxicity that exists, but there's also a privilege. And I think that what we have here in this country, combined with what exists in other parts of the diaspora and in Africa, I think that together we're stronger. And I think that we can really change the face of the earth coming together. That's what I think. That's what I really, truly believe. And so on that note, I dyed my hair super, super blonde. What do you all think of the super blonde look? All right. Ayana is saying they are very abusive in the Caribbean. Tell me what you mean by that. Tell me what you mean by that. In which part of the Caribbean are you referring to? There are many countries in the Caribbean, right? Here we go. Maureen is saying they are chauvinistic and misogynistic in the Caribbean. It really depends. It depends on who you get with. Because I'm doing a matchmaking service, everybody who comes through is pre-qualified and verified and vetted. So each person goes through an interview process with me to assess their relationship readiness. And the service is not free. So people who are investing in this service are investing because they're ready. And you'll find that a lot of the people who have, listen, I'm going to say this, right? We're going to talk about this in the 7-figure video that we're going to be discussing tomorrow. There's a lot of broke men who say a lot of different things about, and so there's a lot of people who say a lot of different things about men who have money, right? But one of the things that I notice from dating men who have money and dating men who don't have money, I find that the broke men are really the ones who have all of these pent up frustrations and lack of feelings of worth and low esteem and all of these different issues just going on inside of them. Is the broke men who are the ones that I have seen who have been the most, I don't know how to put it. I don't know. I can't even think of how to put it. Frustrated, angry, hostile is the broke ones that I've seen that have had the most pent up, unreleased frustrations. It's the men with money who were mainly very laid back. They were masters of their destiny and their domain, and it was different. It was different. So there's like all of these rumors going on about who is what and what is where, or who is abusive, who is this, who is that. And I've found that the broker the man, the more likely he is to be frustrated. Now, can wealthy men be control freaks? Yeah, of course, of course. You have to take your due diligence with any man. Don't think that because a man has money or doesn't have money that he's going to be a perfect creature. So do your due diligence. That's all I can say. And so Bumblebee is saying, Tanya, you said investment. There won't be many men signing up. It's funny that you say that because men are the largest users of matchmakers. Men, and they actually pay more. They invest heavily in finding the woman who is right for them. So if I don't know how much you know about the matchmaking industry, but there are so many men who are looking for stable relationships with women who are going to care for them and love them for them. So it's especially men who make a lot of money. They don't have the time to really be out there on the bar scene or on the apps and all that other stuff. They don't have the time. Hiring a matchmaker is so much more effective and efficient. So, and you're talking about the men. There's going to be some women who are not going to sign up because it costs money. So it costs money for men and it costs money for women. Is there somebody who needs to be broke to be here we go. Let me block somebody real quick. Oops. Moving so quickly. Give me 1 second. I just got to grab this person. Look, I have a mod in here. What's going on, mod? Tanya? What's going on? So I just finished blocking someone. Yeah, so look, I have mods in the house. So the mods, we got to step up. I'm going to have to get some more mods for 2021. And I don't make people I don't know mods. So if you want to be a mod, you have to show up and you have to participate and I have to know who you are. So listen, do not feed the trolls, right? And like I said, we don't call people names on this channel, so let's do better. Let's do better. Okay? Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. So Tanya saying my mod status isn't active. You know what? We got to work. Let me see. I don't think I can do that from here because I'm in a different program here. No, I can't do that from here. I got to do it from YouTube. I'll take care of that when I get to YouTube. But your mod status should be all right. So listen. Oh, let me check the Cash App real quick and then we'll get out of here. Oh, we've gone for an hour. I can't believe it. Okay, so we have we got 123 creations coming in with $5 saying Tanya B's in the trapeze. What are you talking? You're so silly. Oh, Tanya B's in the trapezius fitness. #fitness. She's so crazy. I don't know what is going on. And then we have $20 from Simmons that says, for love and appreciate everything you do. Thank you. I'm sending you your heart. And we have Jerry who says $5. Take some time to recharge. You know what? And on that note, I'm going to go take my time to recharge right now. Thank you all so much. I will see you all tomorrow when we come on. So make sure that your notifications are on. All right. I'll see you all later. All right. Peace.